Hello everyone and welcome to my Java programming tutorial. In this video we will talk about basics things in Java. So let's get started. As you open your Eclipse, you will see a welcome screen. I don't have it on my end because I selected it. Don't show that screen again. You just have to close at the top over here your welcome screen. Otherwise you can just create file new and we will start by creating Java project. Give the name. So I would highly recommend that you give your name as week 1, week 2, week 3. I think this name already exists on my computer so that it will be easy for you to organize all the files and all the work we have done within that week. So week 1 is already created, so week 1, and then don't forget to say use project folder as your source and class files. So you need to select this option and then you have to say finish. I'm just saying cancel over here because I already have the project. So let me click. So for some reason, if you don't see your package explorer, you can click on this icon on your left side. You can see all of your projects. Otherwise you can go in Windows, show view, and over here you have package explorer. So you can see your package explorer like all the projects on the left side. So right click on your project. So this is week 1, which I already have. Right click on your project and then you have to say new and select class. So every time when you are creating or writing a program in Java, you have to create a class. So without class, you cannot run or write your code. So file, you have to click on your project, right click, new, and then class. After selecting class, let's give a name which is basic. So this class name cannot be changed, as you remember. So make sure that this is the same class name which you will be using the whole time. So name basic, then you can say finish. So over here you have an option of creating your public static void main method as well, so you don't have to write it. So let's click on it and say finish. So this is, as you can see, auto generated method. So now you have public class basic, this is your class name, and this is your main method public static void main string square bracket and argument. Curly braces in Java is very important. So as you can see, these curly braces, they come with the methods, they come with the class as well. So as you are writing a class, you start the curly braces and end the curly braces. Again, for the main method, you start curly braces and end curly braces. Your code which you want to run goes inside of your main method. Okay, so if you want to print something, so this is the statement we have: system dot out dot println is the statement to print anything on the computer, on your console. So println, let's say print a message, welcome to Java, and exclamation mark, and end the statement with a semicolon. So semicolons in Java is very important with the statement. So this is a statement in Java and you have to end that statement with a semicolon. If you miss that semicolon, for example, I just remove it, there is an error. Compiler will not let you compile the code if you don't fix that error. So if I take the mouse and read the error, it says syntax error. Insert semicolon to complete the block statement. So these are syntax error. There are 3 types of errors. We have syntax error, logical error, and runtime error. So this is syntax error. Syntax errors are if you go wrong according to the programming grammar. So this is the programming grammar that I need curly braces. If I remove a curly brace, starting curly brace over here, then there is a syntax error. There is a red cross on your left side on Eclipse. This is a syntax error, and syntax error are easy to identify because compiler, just like this, it will tell you on each and every step if you miss anything. So just like public, it's a keyword. If I say capital P, it's a syntax error because Java has defined a programming grammar that this is my grammar and you have to follow those steps. So syntax errors are easy to identify because compiler will tell you all the syntax error on every step first of all, and then as there is no error, when you run, when you click on this play icon, you have to make sure there are no red cross. And this is our message, welcome to Java. So this is how successfully run our first code. There is a difference between print and println. So if I remove this ln part and just say print run, you won't be able to see the difference right now. So let's take a look at the difference. What's the difference? ln means new line. So after printing this statement, your cursor moves to the new line. So right now you don't have ln. It means your cursor is still blinking over here after the exclamation mark. So if I say system dot out dot println and print CSCI 142 and end the statement with a semicolon. Run your code and it will be printed on the same line, CSCI 142. But after this statement, so what this ln does, it print the statement and then move the cursor to the next line. So if I add ln over here, so it means print welcome to Java and move my cursor to the next line. So it means CSCI 142 will be onto a new line. So let's run and CSCI 142 is on the new line. So this is the difference. So just like this, let's say system.out.print, just print and say first program like this. And so what do you think where this first program will print, to a new line or with CSCI 142? So just take a look and try to identify the difference, and then the answer is it will be printed to a new line. The reason is you have ln, it will print 142, CSCI 142, and move your cursor to the new line. So whatever you have print statement, it prints to a new line. So this is the difference between print statement and println. Okay, so what logical errors are? So there are like 3 types of errors we have studied: syntax error, logical error, and runtime error. So maybe I have a statement, and let's remove this print statement to some equation. So let's say I am writing 5 plus 6 minus 3 times 2, something like this, but on my handout the operator over here was the division operator, and accidentally I added the multiplication. So this is my mistake, and compiler won't be able to identify this type of error. This is known as logical error, that there is a mistake in your error. So when you are writing formulas for your physics calculator, when you are working on some big softwares where you are working with some mathematical equations, there you may make a mistake when you are writing 100 lines of code. So there you may make a mistake of one teeny tiny like operator error. Instead of this negative sign, you have to add like multiplication. It will make a big difference to your answer, right? So that is hard to identify. Your code compiles well, but your answer, the output is wrong. So this is what logical error is, and they are very hard to identify, and it is programmer's mistake. The third one is runtime error. And like if I say 2 times divided by 3, for example. So this is a valid division, right? So when I run, so you can see the output. But if I say 1 divided by 0, so this is a runtime error. There is no syntax error. There is no logical error. I'm dividing 2 integer. I want to divide 2 integer values. So there is no logical error. But when you run, I don't want to run it. My Eclipse will crash. So you can try on your computers running it. So 1 divided by 0 will give you an exception. It will throw an exception. It will give you, this is called as runtime error. So usually what it is, because like it happens when you run your code and you are asking input from user. So you are asking user to enter the value of A, and these are like 2 variables, value of B, the other number, and user enter 1 divided by 0. It will give you a hard time. So your code should work, like should handle these kind of exceptions. So this is all about syntax error, logical errors, and you have runtime errors. So runtime error, you can see if you are calling a substring onto a bigger string, and then that string is just like length of 5, and you're calling a substring of length 7, that is known as a runtime error. So such kind of errors are runtime. And there are one more thing I want to talk: comments. So there are 2 ways you can comment your code. So there is double backslash, which is single line comment. So I will say this is just a test code, and as you say enter and you type something, that comment is gone. So it is known as single line comment. Usually comes within the method, and you write when you just want to make a note, just like this one at the top, auto generated method, and just a single statement, right? So you can use double backslash. And then there is multi-line comment, which is backslash star, and then as you can see, everything is commented out. So you have to say enter, and then this is known as multi-line comment. So you can write something like this, anything, and as you are saying enter, this whole thing is a comment box. So, and you close this comment with star and backslash. Okay, so this is we have so far. Okay, and one more thing, when you divide in Java, when you divide two integers in Java, as you can see, 1 divided by 2, so the answer will be integer. So as you can see, the answer is 0 right now. So 0. The decimal part is truncated, is eliminated. So Java don't keep the decimal part if you are dividing two integers. So one is an integer, this one is integer. When you divide two integers, we only keep the integer value. We just remove the decimal part. So if you want to keep the decimal part, what you have to do is make one of them a decimal. So just put 1 divided by 2.0. Now you can see 0.5 as the answer. Okay, so this is one teeny tiny thing about Java. That's it for this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.